Joining us now on the Newsmaker Hotline is Bret Baier from your Fox News channel. Bret, how are you on this Friday morning?
Good. How are you?
We're doing very well. So I want to talk to you about the thing that happened late last night, and it's sort of surprising for many people waking up this morning who've been following the story about the FAA furloughs and how it was backing up air traffic all over the country. And it was just a day or so ago that Harry Reid, the majority leader of the Senate, was on record as saying it would be a mistake to address this problem in isolation and not go in and try to fix the larger issue of sequestration, which, of course, Democrats hate. But late last night, the Senate passed a bill that allows the FAA to sort of move its money around to solve the furlough problem, and it's going over to the House. It looks like it's going to be passed. Man, talk about a 180-degree turn by the Democrats.
Big time. And that is because people are feeling it, and lawmakers are feeling it. And they're getting calls. And, you know, you sit on the tarmac or you get delayed, and congressmen, you know, hear it, and senators hear it, and suddenly there's action. So it was an amazing turnabout about what was said and what eventually was done. What goes to show you is that, you know, the ability for them to move the money around is there. It's just a matter of actually doing it. Having
the political will to do so. Do you think it also came to their attention that perhaps people were seeing through the Democratic argument that this was an impossible problem to fix without, changing things?
Yes, and I think that's why you had the Senate move on it, and the House is going to, take it very quickly.
All right.
Hey, Bret, by the way, welcome back from Texas. I hope it was fun down there. Talk to me about the coverage of the George W. Bush Presidential Library.
Yeah, listen, no matter your ideology or your politics, there's just something very cool about seeing 5 living presidents together and speaking about each other in glowing terms. And there's something good about it, and not to be cheesy, but good for the country in the tough times that we go through, not only economically and the stories that we do, but the Boston bombing and the ricin scare and everything else that we have to cover. There's something good about seeing 5 presidents together and elevating, I think.
And what was the? Did you get to see the library itself, and what was your impression of it as I think as a historical location and a place for people to learn about the 8 years under George W. Bush?
Yeah, it's a really interesting place. It's worth going to see. You go in there and it's set up chronologically from the beginning of his first term, and then September 11th comes, and there's this giant piece of the World Trade Center.
Ooh.
And it's really a stark, reminder of how his administration turned on a dime, from No Child Left Behind and taxes to terror. And then it goes through all of, the wars. It does not shy away from the controversies in the Bush administration, but it does have this decision points theater where people are put in the shoes of the president, advisors are giving advice, news reports come over, and you have to make decisions on the fly. And it's an interesting way to put people in the shoes of a president. Basically, it's a tough job.
Well, we're at one of those decision points right now in America with regards to Syria, because the president of the United States said, look, if you Syrians, if Bashar Assad's people use chemical weapons against, his opponents, then that's a red line, and that you cannot cross that red line. And now there appears to be a tremendous amount of evidence that is generated that suggests that indeed that's exactly what happened. They used sarin gas against their opponents. What's going to happen here? Because you've laid down the law and you said don't cross this line, and it seems that they've stepped right over it.
It's a major, major issue, and I think it's going to explode here politically today and over the weekend. And you already heard Dianne Feinstein, Democrat, chair of the Senate Intel Committee, say the red line has been crossed. That's now the administration is saying, well, we're just not sure. We need harder evidence. before acting. You know, I mean, they want to get the UN in to confirm all of these things. I think, you know, you're going to see some real calls for doing something. Now, appetite for U.S. military intervention in Syria? No. You know, political appetite in America? I don't think so. Do you?
Well, then when you lay down the gauntlet and you say, don't cross this line, that's an implied threat that if you do, we're going to do something. But, but apparently we're not willing to do anything.
Exactly. I mean, you're right. It's the credibility of the president. It's the credibility of the country when you say something, and especially in the Middle East. You know, I mean, your word, if you don't come through with it, you know, it means a lot.
Well, just to follow, if the president says that and does nothing, then he emboldens the people there in Syria who have already used chemical weapons. If he decides to do something, he finds it to be an incredibly politically unpopular move in America. What a difficult box he put himself in by drawing that red line to begin with.
I agree. You know, I think that it is going to be increasingly difficult for the administration to do nothing on Syria. And I think they're going to have to provide something. I think I wouldn't be surprised if we are pretty soon providing a no-fly zone for some section of Syria for rebels in near Turkey. I mean, that's how I think that it is to that point that you just can't back off what you've said and done.
Hey, Bret Baier, I want to first congratulate you and Fox News for an astounding week in ratings covering the Boston Marathon bombing. You guys were the top cable station in all of cable, not just cable news like you're used to, but in all of cable. So congratulations for that.
When we beat Nickelodeon, it's a big week.
Well, I was thinking more along the lines of ESPN.
SpongeBob SquarePants didn't have a chance.
SpongeBob, look out.
Well, listen, and in sometimes, lots you were beating the networks as well. It really does speak to the coverage that you provided. I'm wondering, though, where you think this story is going now when you see reports of the CIA and FBI and other intelligence agencies sort of pointing fingers and saying, yeah, we knew, but and it seems like nothing got done. Is this a scandal in the making?
It is. I think we're just at the tip of the iceberg. I think, you know, that trip to Russia and where Tamerlan Tsarnaev went is really going to be a focus. How much we knew. Apparently the Joint Terrorism Task Force was alerted. I think that this is going to be really messy and has the potential to be very messy for the administration just by what they've set up on Capitol Hill and what has happened so far. I also think that the investigation is not, you know, finished. It seems like it's expanding, and that the mother and the wife apparently are, you know, being questioned about whether they were helping in the actual plot. And I think you're going to see a number of different things develop over the next couple of days.
All right. Listen, again, congratulations. And, you know, I having worked there and knowing how the system works there, I know you'll agree with me in saying one of the real strengths of the Fox News channel is this incredible network of really incredible producers that you have on the ground in key places. Those people are so plugged in. What a valuable resource that is.
Oh, it's the staff. I mean, we have so many great people, and oftentimes they don't get enough credit. So thank you, Brian.
All right. Bret Baier from your Fox News channel, thanks a lot. Appreciate it.